And now in other news, the executive chairman of the African Energy Chamber, NJ Ayuk, has called for inclusive participation in the Namibian energy sector, which must include public-private sector collaboration in order to deliver positive impact on local communities for the local communities. The head of the African Energy Advocacy Group was speaking this week in Namibia at the second edition of the Youth in Oil and Gas Summit. Namibia is preparing for its first major offshore discoveries in the Orange Basin, led by global energy giants such as Total Energies, Shell, Galp, and Chevron. The annual summit was focused on the need for foundational capacity building for young Namibians, including STEM education, vocational training, and investment in youth entrepreneurship. Let's take some excerpts from Ayuk's keynote presentation.
Read about oil and gas across Africa and across the world has not always been good. Issues around climate change, issues around energy transition, clean energy. What does this mean? It means that we have a chance once in our generation to do something different, to change the narrative of what is being told, not just about Namibia, but about Africa and about its young people. Can we be, not we, you, be that generation that changes that? Can you be that generation that inspires the world to look at this country and look at it differently and look at it with the beauty that it deserves? That we go beyond the dunes and the sandwich harbor. We go beyond the desert meeting the ocean. We go beyond young people striving instead of for distant shores to find opportunities. We go for something big. That's why this country is called Land of the Braves, because you think big and do something big. As you sit here this morning, you're starting to wonder. I like the sign though, drill. Drill, baby, drill. That's what I like. It's so beautiful. When you don't drill, you don't find oil. So when I see drill, I came in there, I saw it, I got happy. But as we sit here this morning, we're thinking about youth, young people in an industry. I'll be honest with you. You don't have a lot of young people getting into oil and gas. As Justina said, if you don't hire them, they won't get the experience. And if you don't train them, they won't be able to be part of it. But I always know one thing. As a young person, and I like the MC starts today acting like a pastor. And I tried it. I wanted to be a pastor when I was a young kid. I failed hopefully. I ended up in the best profession, being a lawyer, thinking that's where I belong. But I always said something, getting into this. My mind is a pearl. Teach me, I can learn anything. Your minds are pearls. Your minds are better than pearls. If we teach you, if we empower you, you can learn everything and you can grow in everything and you can be better than anybody ever thought. And don't you let any of them tell you that you can't be good and you can't compete. That will be the biggest mistake you have for yourself, because whenever you walk up, whenever you get in this industry, whenever people talk about oil and gas, you have to start the first thing you say, I am somebody. I may be from Walvis Bay, I may be from Swakop, I may be from the north, but I am somebody. I don't care what you think about me. I am somebody. And when you think you are somebody, when you think that these resources belong to you and you can thrive within it and be part of it, when you think about country first, when you think about empowerment and development of your country, then you know that you are somebody. Can somebody say, I am somebody? I am somebody. That's how we started. We have an energy or an oil and gas industry globally that is on crisis. It's on crisis because we're saying we don't have the price at the pump when you want to get energy. It's so expensive. So how do we have all these resources across Africa? Potential growth in Namibia, but we're paying too much. It's getting too expensive for us to get even more energy to our people every day. It's getting too much to talk about getting jobs, and you're sitting here, the youth around Africa, in Namibia, sitting here and worrying about how do we make this industry work? Should I even get into oil and gas? Is it something that is even important? And even if I get into oil and gas, would they accept me? Is it just going to be for the special few, or for the rich and the well-connected and the privileged are going to be part of it? What about me? What is in this industry that makes sense for me to come in? You know, I think there's more young people saying, I'd rather work for Google or Amazon than Chevron or Exxon. There is what makes this industry special. And I think that's why you got Justina putting this and saying, let's have a conversation, young people to young people, what makes it special. And I'll tell you what makes it special. The oil and gas industry is going to define the future. You all know about AI? Who knows about AI? Come on, you all use ChatGPT and everything. These days, with you young people, you all don't even know how to do your pickup lines and get dates. You ask ChatGPT, how do I pick up a date? It's true, I know you guys, I see you, you know. I see you, I know. But, to get that stuff, you need data centers, right? You all know what data centers is? Big tech data centers, they need electricity and you need to power it. And when you have to power it, you know what you do? You don't need kilowatts, megawatts, you need something called gigawatts. So that is heavy electricity. And you know how you get heavy electricity? You get it out of what you call base load. So base load, you get base load out of coal or natural gas or nuclear. So you need some heavy stuff. Then you get solar and wind. That's like some icing on a cake. You get a nice icing, it looks so white, and whipped cream or something. You get that kind of stuff. But before you get whipped cream, you got to get something right in the back, right? Because you know what happens when you get your nice, latte with whipped cream on top. You drink all the latte and the whipped cream stays right in. So it doesn't really, that's why you have intermittent this solar and stuff. But guess what? If you go and build data centers for the young people in the future, do Bitcoin mining, cryptocurrency and everything, you need to have that baseload energy. That's where you come in. That's where you look at technology. That's why we drill for oil. That's why we drill for gas. But let's be very careful. Your oil and gas industry and Namibia's oil and gas industry is going to shape the world. You are going to produce so much energy that you've never seen in your history and potentially shape the global energy dynamics of the future. That's what Land of the Brace is going to be doing for the world. But it starts with you. It starts with what Nelian is here. She got so much money to give all of you scholarships. Let me tell you something. Nelian, can you please stand up? You see this lady? Yeah. That's my job. I call them out. Call them out. They try to hide, You be like, I used to be so broke, man. I used to. Don't laugh. I was poor. It's different. How do you spell P-O-O-R? You didn't have to spend much time pronouncing that. Mine was Po, P-O. There was no or, like you got to change that. That didn't happen. So you go in the house, I was so broke, the house had roaches in them and everything. So what you do, you cut off the lights, then the roaches run away. So my job is to cut off the lights, then Lillian comes up because she got money, all right? She got dollars, not Namibian dollars, but US dollars. She is going to pay for all of you to get training in oil and gas. If somebody is not getting their training, it's Nelian's fault, not Justina's fault. So, but we thank Petrofund. Jokes aside, we thank Petrofund because, Nelian, you might not notice, you have been a strong driver for so many Namibians that did not have the opportunity to get scholarships, to know the opportunities that this industry thinks. She's very quiet. You fly with her, she's sitting right in the back. She's not like one of the VIPs that want to sit business class. She's right, always hides in the back. But she has been that quiet force, quietly pushing for Namibians to get training, vocational training, universities. I know sometimes people wouldn't say thank you to you, but there's a lot of master's degrees that you've paid for. There's a lot of PhDs that you pay for. I just hope they come back. We don't want PhDs, right? We want PhDs, they come back and really do something. But she's always been there, pushing, working with the oil companies, inspiring them to put more money so that Namibians get a chance. And you know why that's so important? That comes with the training, the capacity that needs to be built. Because it's those quiet soldiers that come in there and say, you know what? Integration without preparation is frustration. So you got to be able to get some people and get them trained, or not the fancy, glitzy stuff, but that which is, I call it the boring, because that's really what makes you successful. She has been with the boring, and the boring comes with educating young Namibians to be prepared for the future. Thank you, Nelly, and thank you for all that you do. And I'm going above my time. The mayor didn't show up, the governor didn't show up. I'm like, shit, I got the stage with me, And they're going to criticize me, but I'm going to do like a jigger, man. You all know JC. You can criticize me all you want. I just do the JC thing, wipe it a little bit, keep moving. But you really think I'm old, right? I'm old. I'm not young anymore. But, barring the lingo, barring everything, we got to look at what role you got to play. And the role you got to play is that role that shapes the future. A role that shapes the future is you doing the boring, the hard work, the difficult stuff. And I want to implore you to talk with everybody here. And the difficult stuff is starting with the STEM education. And that STEM education is so important. And I look at all these young people, and I've got bad news for you. Not every one of you is going to be chairman, CEO, or the boss. There's always only one driver in a car.